I'm going to cut right to the chase. And I want to first begin by saying every person uh, that's a potential martial arts student that walks in a dojo, dojang, a kung, they're human beings. And being such, they have human behavior. We instructors can't read people's minds. We might have intuition, some insight, some wisdom from just living life and experience. I personally am very, very grateful that I can read most people that walk in my school or organization. With that said, sometimes people are just with you for a season. It's a bitter pill to swallow for an instructor. We have to learn how to be insensitive on some level when students leave us and when we have to put a student out of our school or organization. It's just the way it is. Some people just are not a good fit. And oftentimes, you don't find this out until they have been with you for some years. Life changes people. Time changes people. Circumstances changes people. But we instructors must learn how to roll with those tides, if you will. I have had to put a student out of my school before, myself. I have made it clear for decades what I stand for. And I have given out information, and any prospective student that came into my organization understood what the rules were. It's not slavery of any sort. It is just something that you have to comply with to keep order, as would any other organization. So, one of my rules is that, let me get this out first. I am not someone that is teaching another art specifically, where I'm under some governing body. I have a system of my own, and it stands alone. I have been influenced with over 50 years of martial arts experience in Chinese, Japanese, Okinawan, Korean martial arts, and then some. And my system is a product of that. And it belongs to me. Now, I've had many, many students, and I've had many people come through my doors that have left, because you deal with all types of people who don't even know what they're looking for. That's life too. Now, for the ones that had remained for a while and had received substantial rank under me, I may have had someone that I had to let go because they broke the rules. Since Jinindo is my system, once you meet black belt rank, certain black belt rank, you're not allowed to go out and teach my system to anyone unless you have been sanctioned by me, the founder. So that's a no-no. So I have had that happen before. And I had to deal with that situation. I did not lose any sleep. This is a rule and principle innately built into who I am as a person. And I change not when it comes to my system. So, that did happen, and that's water under the bridge. It's long since been gone. I've had someone in my class before, over time, achieve the rank of black belt. And at some point in time, through their travels with me, they began to get praise and accolades from people. So their ego is puffed up. And so while they are absent from me, people begin to call them master. And so a light bulb goes off in their head and says, oh, they're calling me master. So through the grapevine, or indirectly, I find out that they start their own school. They've got students and they're charging their students. That's a no-no, because they didn't go through the proper procedure. There's a protocol, and they know this, or they knew this. So they gradually acquiesced away from the system because they felt like they could make money outside of me. Okay, no love lost. I just left that situation alone. It's just understood that that person is no longer a part of me by their own participation in what they're doing now. That's another situation. Now, another situation. Someone tells me that they want to support me and my system, and they want to move on and do some other things outside of me as it relates to martial arts, and they want to promote or help promote my system while they're doing this. So, being the wise man that I am, I step back and I listen. Okay. Not fully being aware that this person has already been putting together something, some kind of program of their own. Same thing. Someone has swollen their ego, so they felt like, oh wow, it's people starting to like me. People starting to call me by name when they see me in competition. People starting to praise me. So their ego is inflated. So the original premise of what they were doing or going to do was to help support my system in their new endeavor was not true in the first place. What they wanted to do is step away and gain some notoriety doing something else without my consent. That's against the rules. So, I'm talking about loyalty now. So this individual, they're in a competition, or several competitions, and the forms that I taught them, they are using those same forms from my system with their new group, or the group of students that they began to gather or build. And then if that's not a lot, they've added part of the name of my system to what they do. And then they never even consult me at all or say that I started a system or a school and I'm using part of the name of your system and I'm still using your forms. And I basically have started my own thing, and I'm receiving money as a result of this thing. You know, that doesn't set well with me. I'm not going to go and ring their phone off the hook or go and seek them out. No, I'm not. Because anything dishonorable and as treacherous as that, karma is going to get them. They're not going to go very far because they did never ever receive, they did not receive my sanctioning or my blessings to take my system and bastardize it, which is what they did. And the real sad part is that they can't go any further than what I promoted them to, not under my system. So anything that they accumulate from that point forward, they get that from wherever they get it from. So I don't have very much respect for that individual from a martial arts standpoint. I don't have any love lost. I don't hate anyone. I'm too old for that. Never have been that way. As I said, the universe has a way of pulling your shirt and saying, what you just did, you're going to pay for it. That's it. Still love the person. We don't have conversations. We definitely won't have conversations about my system. And on top of that, that person still tried to reach out to some of my other higher ranks to help support them. And this is definitely not allowable. And my higher ranks that remain understand this and understood this. You read between the lines. You don't go and support someone who has dishonored your teacher, the Grand Master of your system, especially, and you support their efforts, and they're using my system in their efforts that was never given any permission to do so. That's not allowable. And anyone that does that is not worthy to be in my ranks any longer. That's aiding and abetting, as the law says. You don't do that. There's a proper way to do everything in life. You go to the source. I am the source, because I am the creator of the system. You don't go behind my back and do things to benefit yourself and use my system as a means to do so. And I know nothing about it until later. And you think you're going to be blessed? Doesn't work that way. The universe doesn't work that way. And I don't have senior black belts that go and support those types of individuals either. Because if they did, they may as well join them and lose their position with me. This is real talk. And also, sometimes people get upset and they get into their feelings when you set them in order. And then they want to say, oh, I've been with you all these years. That means absolutely nothing to me. If you have dishonored me, makes no difference to me how many years you've been with me. If you have dishonored me and my system and the principles upon which it lies, you have no place in my organization anymore. And again, no love lost. Still love you as a person, as a human being. But I'm disappointed and I don't respect you as a martial arts black belt or master. I don't need to say names. That's not necessary. It does happen all of the time, unfortunately, in some martial arts schools and some styles and systems. It has happened. I have friends personally that have had people in their organization that took the Grandmaster's system and tried to take the name and open up them a school, and they broke the copyright law, and they had to change the way they spelled the system name and so forth. I've seen that before. It's a shame. It's crazy. You take the things that have been given to you out of the goodness of your instructor's heart, and you share it with someone that's not worthy, because you're not worthy. And then people wonder why you don't share certain things with them. It's because sometimes we master instructors can see down the road, and we master instructors can look straight through a person and tell if you're really loyal or not. I have to finish this video. We can tell if you're loyal or not. I know I can. I've been doing this long enough. So, if I have a black belt or a master in my system that's doing drugs, I don't care what the drug is. It's time for you to go, because my legacy is more important to me to allow anyone to disgrace me and what I represent. And if I have a master or a black belt smoking cigarettes, that's another thing. You see, I'm looking at the future of my system, because when I leave here, there needs to be someone who thinks very closely, lockstep with the way I do. You can never be me. You can never be exactly like me, but you can represent my standards and my principles minimally. That's what I seek. And if that can't happen, if that cannot come to pass or fruition, I'd rather let my system die with me. You know, when Bruce Lee was living, Dan Inosanto said it. Other Jeet Kune Do students said it. Bruce Lee was Jeet Kune Do. That system was made for him. People benefited from the principles of it. The same is true with me. Jinin Do is what I am and who I am. That system was made to accommodate me, but the principles are for everyone. The concept is true. Being free and unbound, expressing yourself through your craft. No dogma from hundreds and thousands of years old that you're locked into, no cage. What works for you, the individual, because everybody is different. Now, I'm going to conclude, but I say again, there'll be no drug addicts and people with illicit behavior representing my system while I'm living, and most definitely not while I'm dead. You have to stand on your square and do the thing the way the thing was intended to be done. That was it, and that was all.